All right, so let's talk about purpose and its connection with your health. You know, one of the things that I came to this conclusion several years ago is that your health is more than just about your nutrition and your fitness and these things, but your health, you need to take into consideration other areas of life, like your purpose and family and finances, order, time, and community, all the aspects of what we talk about on the Abundant Life Blueprint, the 7 rooms in the house. All of those affect your health, and your purpose being one of the biggest ones on there. Because, you know, when you have a vision for your life, when you have a purpose, it gets you up out of bed in the morning, it gives you energy, it gives you a focus for your day to make sure that you're not drifting. Now, one of the most important things about purpose is it keeps you on track. It keeps you moving in the right direction. So think of your purpose as kind of a navigation point a little bit. It's keeping you on track. It's keeping you moving in the right direction. But with your purpose, it's important to realize that everything in this world wants to go the wrong way when given the opportunity to. And so with your purpose, it's very easy to drift and to get off track. The natural tendency is to drift and to get off track unless you stay focused. Every day you wake up and you got a sense of purpose. You know where you're going. You know the direction that you want to be moving in every single day. So how do we find this purpose? Okay? So when we want to find our purpose, the most important thing to know is that your purpose is in your heart. And the Bible talks about in the book of Proverbs, the purpose in a man's heart is like in the deep waters of your heart, and that you pull it out, actually it says in Proverbs, with your words. So when you'll find when you're talking to people, when you are journaling, when you are having conversations, and you're paying attention to the words that are coming out of your mouth, you're actually going to pull your purpose out of the deep waters of your heart. You're going to pull it out, and it's going to become evident. And one day you're going to say something to somebody, and you're like, wait a minute, okay, that just clicked. I know that's a part of my bigger purpose. That's how you're going to find it. You're also going to, the other part of this, it's in the deep waters of your heart. So it's going to take spending some time with God. One of the best ways I found is just getting quiet and listening, having a pen and a piece of paper handy, and just journaling and just writing out what's in your heart. And as those words flow out of your heart, sometimes that can be hard, but just write whatever's on your mind, whatever's on your heart. Pour your heart out onto the page, and you'll find that all of a sudden your purpose starts to flow out of you onto that page, and you'll get more clarity on what you're supposed to be doing, the direction that you're supposed to be taking in your life. That's the first part of it. Now, how do we know? When we talk about purpose, it's important that we have the right purpose, because if we're not moving in the purpose that God created you for, every one of us has a unique God-given purpose that we were designed to move towards. But if we don't know, we need to know for sure that that purpose is from God. And so how do we know if that purpose is from God? Here's some criteria that I use. I have these in my book, 7 Days with Jesus. I list out these criteria. In that book, in the chapter on Pentecost, we actually talk about finding my purpose, and the process that I went through of finding my purpose. We go through that. But part of the process of finding your purpose is your purpose needs to, number one, it's going to incorporate your unique gifts and talents and passions. You have a unique mix, a unique cluster of gifts and passions and talents that's unique to you. And when you start to take all those things and you mesh them together into one gift or talent mix that's unique to you, that's when you're starting to get a glimpse of what your purpose is. So that's the first part of it. The second part of this is that your purpose, it has to look impossible. Because if it's a God-given purpose, you can't do it alone. You're going to need God's help to do it. Number one, it's going to look impossible. Okay, you're going to need God's help, and it's going to require the help of others. And that you can't accomplish this purpose on your own. You're going to need to learn how to work well with others. You're going to need to learn how to collaborate and communicate at a higher level with others so that they get in on you with this vision. They help you build this thing. The other part of this is that it's always, God's purposes are always multi-generational. You see Abraham to Isaac to Jacob to Joseph and then to Moses, and this purpose keeps getting passed on from one generation to the next. We see Jesus and the disciples. We see Elijah and Elisha. There's always this passing of the baton. There's always a succession plan. Your purpose is never just for you. It's about much more than just you, and that's why it's going to take God's help. It's going to take other people's help, and it's going to be a multi-generational plan that you're going to have to walk out, over the course of your life, and you're going to have to pass the baton on to somebody else. The next criteria is that it's going to require you to live a balanced life. In order to walk out that purpose, God always promotes a balanced life. One of my buddies who's an engineer, I asked him one time, what happens in nature if things aren't balanced? He said, well, if things in nature are not balanced, they blow up. Okay, so if your life is getting out of balance because you're pursuing this purpose, it might not be the God-given purpose that you're after. So those are some of the criteria that I look for to know, hey, this is a God-given purpose. This is the direction that He wants me moving in my life. And then in the book 7 Days with Jesus, we talk more about, how to walk out that purpose. We'll get into that in another video maybe here. How do you walk out that purpose? What do you expect? Because as you start to walk down that path of fulfilling this purpose, God's path doesn't always look the way that we expect it to. His path and His ways are a little bit different sometimes than we would expect. And we'll talk some more in another video about what to expect when you start moving down this path of God's purpose for your life. But you want to learn more, you can check out the book 7 Days with Jesus. It's available for free. I just ask that you pay $7 for the shipping, and we'll get you started in getting a little more clarity on what is your purpose. And when you find that purpose, it's a thing that's going to wake you up in the morning. You're going to find that your health increases. All kinds of other areas improve when you get clear on what your purpose is.